Hey guys, like Blue25
and Ultra Change Zord.
With episode 141 Ranger Review. Today we have the Power Rangers Megaforce, the Seaick Brothers, and added a bonus, the Bullet Header, aka the Seaick Brothers from Tensou Sentai Ghost Ager. So now we have the Seaick Brothers Zords. The Seaick Brothers comprise of a Manta Ray, a Hammerhead Shark, and a Saw Shark. Of course, ours includes is a cycle, which is a cool thing, so kids can actually have fun with rolling around. The Blue Ranger figure is exactly the same as the Black and Red Rangers from the other two sets. It's just blue and there's no paint, no nothing, and they can't really do much. It just sits there. Now the gimmick for the Sawhead Shark Header is that you can actually have these fins spin. When you just spin one of them, you can spin the others. They all have wheels, which is really cool. Even the cycle does. So
you can move them individually, move them with the vehicle or the vehicle alone, or swap parts. You can swap headers. You can swap heads with the other Zords.
And it's a really good playability because the kids actually would like something having a cycle rather than nothing. So now we have the Seaick Brothers. Now Seaick Brothers, the cool thing is that they all have wheels as well. And now the gimmick for the Saw Shark is that when you spin the top part, actually you can hear you can actually move the mouth open up and down. It's not a lot of opening, just a bit little, but it's actually really cool to see that actually. Now for the Hammerhead, all you gotta do is just press the button on the top and it pops out and makes it look more wider. And also the mouth does open, so it's really cool to see. Now this one, the mouth opens more because this one actually has a stability because of what it does, while this one doesn't, so you can actually open the mouth really, really wide. So for the Manta Ray, you just gotta press the top button, and it becomes that. Now the cards that you get both in the Japanese and American one, you do get the Seaick Brother cards, but instead our cards are a bit bigger than theirs, and back is changed. But we get an extra card, which is the Seaick Megazord when they combine all of them. So now we have the Bullet Header. Now in this one, we have a motorcycle. It rolls nice and forward, which is really cool. And the good part is that you actually can take it out and have it like that. Now the card that you get is the Bullet Header or the Ultra Change Zord, and of course the Ultra Change Megazord. You actually can put this as a leg as well, because all you gotta do is just rotate it back. There's a little peg you can actually put it as a leg. Now the figure in this one is much more detailed than the other three that we've gotten. The only thing you can move is like this in a sitting position. That's it. You can still move the head. They didn't paint the buckle gold. This thing has wings, you can say, and it actually has a connector, so you can actually connect the other headers onto it instead of just having it one. And of course,
so you can have different combinations of legs and arms and headers on the thing if you choose to do it.
Now, a good part about this bicycle, you actually can put the Ranger on it without having the extra piece on it. You can't really do much with it, but there is a stand, so you actually can have it hold it like that. Oh, why not? It's actually a nice little gimmick for Bandai to do for kids to, fool around with the bike instead of, and
have extra options.
And it's a pretty cool gimmick to see, and kids will have more fun with them because there's more different things you can do with them. So now we have the Seaick Megazord. This is the first Megazord brothers that they used to combine. Now in this one, the two arms are now on the bottom right here, and of course the Saw Shark is right here, the Hammerhead's right here, and the Manta Ray becomes the head. Now the head is more like a pirate theme. Now the gimmick, you can still move the arms up and down still, which is really cool. But I must warn you guys, you don't really need to fold the wings, though it's actually supposed to be up anyway. But you can fold the wings if you want to save space, just to let you guys know. The head doesn't move sadly, but you can wobble the body a bit, just a bit, but I would not suggest you do that. You can still activate the gimmick for the Saw Shark header right here. It still transforms the exact same way as the Japanese version does. So now we have Ultra Gosei Grade, aka Hyper Gosei Grade. The maneuverability is you can move the arms, but
it's extremely limited.
I really don't suggest you guys do it because you only can.
It's mainly the back. It really is. There's no locking feature for it, so that the back can easily just fall off.
Because you can tell right now, it's very wobbly. It's just a little small peg that puts it in, and that's it. Now, of course, you guys notice the back is weird because the back is supposed to be datas. The cycles actually have a use because it makes it look like it's datas instead of having datas in. The header is actually, the 5 headers now on the front. The helmet is actually right here now, and it's a unique design. It's interesting to see just heads, you know, combining into one giant little thing, but...
And it's not as like grotesque as G12, Samurai Halos. It's not as big and cumbersome. Well, you can still move some things around.
I would say this is a good little thing to do, but I don't recommend you guys actually do much with it, just display it, because that's all mainly much it is. Alteration wise, now there's not really much changes to it. Now the Japanese version, all the headers were just in a box. There was no cycle, no nothing. It just came as headers with the Seaick Brothers cards. The American version, we added the little cycle. The Shark header is a bit smaller than the Japanese one. The gimmick is actually different from how they do it. We actually just rotate it like this, while the Japanese one, there's a nozzle for you to turn it. There is also paint missing. We don't have paint on the mouth. The teeth are not painted, and it does not open at all, while the Japanese one, the mouth does open to a certain extent. And also the fact that we are still missing a bit of the chrome right here. We do see the little gimmick right here, but it doesn't do much. It's already molded in. The gears on the top, the change from silver to not painted at all. From the Hammerhead Shark, we, of course, is smaller. We took out a lot of silver paint. We actually minimized the side right here. Instead of being it like a big, wider gap, it's actually much smaller here. We did change the red color on it, the silver paint on both sides. Near the eyes and on the back are not painted at all. And of course, we don't open the mouths while the Japanese one does. We still kept the wheels on all of those headers. Now the gimmick is that when you press the button on the top of the Japanese one, it opens up, while ours is already collapsed open, so you can't really do much with that one. Now for the manta ray, of course it's smaller. We did keep it, the front is actually almost the same. The only difference is that we never actually had little eyeballs. When you press the button, it opens up the fins. You have to do it manually in ours. Now the manta ray is actually also the head. The head, we actually took out, we didn't paint the other side of the fins right here. And the paint that we took out was just a little silver paint with eye patches.
The skull's gold was made darker, and the 2 blue painted boxes were left blank.
Also, for the bullet header, now the bullet header was actually, of course, made for data. So this is actually a piece for it that you can actually open it up and have it when it's the upgrade mode that he did. Now also, the crown for the Hyper Gosei Grade was actually also not included. Since we don't have datas, this was actually included in the cycles for red only.
It was originally stored in Datas' front chest part armor.
Overall, I recommend you guys get whichever version you prefer. It's much cheaper to get the American version because it's already out right now. And the gimmick is actually pretty decent for it, even though we do lose a few paint apps and a few other things. But overall, it's really, really good to see that Bandai America actually incorporated
something extra
instead of just having heads that really don't really do much at all. Being that Datas is not included in the show, we have a little cycle thing. It's actually a really cool marketing idea for Bandai to actually have an extra head and for legs, just in case kids lose legs. With Gosei Grade America out right now, it's much better to get them once. But if you have the money and the time to actually buy the Japanese one, then by far do what you guys wish. It actually really doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's it for a review of the Seaick Brothers and the extra bullet header. Join us next time for the Power Rangers Megaforce, the Megaforce Blaster. Rate, comment, subscribe, and see you next time. So now we have the Seaick.
Oh, we won't be able to spin it.
Yeah, we won't. Actually, no.
Collapse the wings. Because thank God we can do that.
Then people are gonna complain.
Yes, thank you. The US one is better.
Yeah, but people complain why.
I know. Oh, then we can review the bullet. I forgot we should have reviewed the bullet head. So what I'll do is we'll review it like normally, and I'll just edit it before.
So shouldn't I have said extra bonus bullet header?
Yes.
So mainly much I'll say, we'll say the beginning again, just instead I'll say Seaick Brothers and also as added bonus the bullet header. Okay. But it just looks weird when you have it like that. It's like it's crawling down.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, very much. Now also another thing is that this actually can be used as a bicycle. The odd thing is that how they put the cycles is that the boosters actually become, like the two rockets become actually a stabilizer, because I'm guessing because of the weight of the back, they need something for the legs as well. So it's actually a really thing. It balances out a bit. You can see a little bit of the back weight, but mainly much is the front that you see the most of, because this is where all the headers are at.
It transforms pretty much the exact same way as Gosei.
Hyper Gosei. Right. Go Busters. Ready? Go.
Yeah, go into the can.